My name is Toka, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about something that is very important to not only you as an artist, but to you as a person. First, I want to say, if drawing feels heavy lately, maybe you're not broken. Maybe you just need to breathe. In today's topic, when art stops being fun. Now, I know that sounds very heavy, especially coming from fellow artists that all love to draw. You know, we all share that same experience, no matter what art style we do, no matter what programs we use, or what work-like process we have. We all share the same love for art. Now, in this situation here, when it stops being fun, is something I came by naturally, actually. So if you know, I've been running this channel for a pretty long time. It's taking me through before university, after university, and now I'm married. You know, it's been a very long time, and funny enough, this may be a lot of people first time seeing me. And if that's the case, hello, I am Toka. I am a professional artist, teacher, and mentor in specifically anime art, but my art goes beyond just regular anime, as I started out as a painter, as a traditional concept artist, you know, for realistic games, and now in the gacha game industry, which is a big difference, but equally as fun. But for all of you out there, this video is specifically for anyone who feels compelled to know and to feel when art stops being fun. Now for me, recently, I was drawing a lot. You know, there were many illustrations, and I got to a point where I asked my wife, I feel happy with my art. I don't feel like I have to learn more. I feel genuinely happy in my portfolio. I feel good with, you know, finding jobs, finding freelance, contract work, whatever that might be. But it was not feeling fun for me anymore. Now I started feeling like a machine, like a cog almost. And it was because, and this is only my situation, and to give you a little background, I'm only 22 years old, so I just want to say that because this might sound very funny, or either you relate to it yourself. But it stopped being fun for me once I felt like I had everything. Once I felt like I known everything, when in reality, I knew nothing. I had far to go. My art was nowhere near where it needed to be to get the dream jobs that I want, to get the things that I want to be in life when it comes to my art career. Art stopped being fun for me once I realized that I thought I knew everything. Now, for other people, that might be very different. And let me just break that down on thinking I know everything. I wasn't some narcissistic, delusional person thinking I have everything and I know my art is perfect and I'm better than everyone. No, far from it. It was in the fact that I stopped looking at the videos. I stopped taking the courses. I stopped doing the studies, and every piece I did was now a portfolio piece. Every piece I was doing was driving me closer to burnout because I'm trying to hit that next step with every single piece. Not realizing sometimes it's fun to just sketch. Sometimes it's fun to just do a study, and sometimes it's fun to learn a new skill. to take that course because we don't know everything. And I felt like I went to university. I've worked at jobs. I've done everything the way I should be, but I'm not feeling good about it. You know? And if you relate to that, then I can tell you the best way to kind of fix this. And this is for anything. When art stops being from my situation, I can only talk on my personal experience, which was that. But if your personal experience is different, maybe it's because you are thinking things through too much. My wife, for example, she's also an artist. And I remember in university, she would have this thing where she would almost think too far ahead in her art process, which inevitably made her succumb to the pressure because she sees the bigger picture already. She sees the final portfolio. She doesn't see the beginning or the second or the next, which is also something that I went through myself, which is not seeing only looking at the art station posts, the final product, not seeing the process that it took to get there, and that inadvertently almost burnt me out, inadvertently almost burnt her out. So the best thing to do, which goes on to my second point, is to reflect and step back. One thing I had to learn is why I like drawing, the reasons why I wanted to work in the game industry in the first place. Now, my favorite game as a child was Assassin's Creed. You may have different, and I know usually as you're seeing on the screen, you see this anime illustration being made. Yeah, my favorite game was Assassin's Creed. That what initially got me into the art industry, was trying to make art for that game. And then I stopped because I really like anime and I really love gacha games. Not in the same sense of how I like the Assassin's Creeds, but in a sense of visually they were just more alluring to me. I love the pretty colors, the bright atmosphere, the fun cutesy designs. That was something that I very much enjoyed looking at, So in stepping back, in my case, I played games that I like again. Now, as fellow artists, and for my anime artists out there that are trying to go into that industry, work into your favorite game company, whether that be MiHoYo, Kuro Games, Hada Studios, or CTW, anything like that. First thing I had to do was play video games. I know. It's am I really working? I'm playing video games. No. I had to play them to see why I wanted to do this, to see why I wanted to even be in this industry to begin with. In playing the video games, I realized how much fun not only I was having, but how much I love this. I mean, seeing the characters, their animations, their movements, their personalities, it was so fun. So going back to the Genshins and the Withering Waves and whatever game that you might have that is that catalyst for you, makes you realize why you love it. And then you go further back. So not only am I playing these anime games that got me into this industry to begin with, now I'm playing the things that got me into the industry. Period. Going back to the Assassin's Creed, to the Ezio trilogy, if for my fellow gamers out there, hopefully you know what I'm talking about. But I played those and I realized this is what it is. And what that is that spark you feel. That happiness that I got as a kid playing, getting jumped into that world, is the reason why I got into this industry in the first place, was to make other children around the world feel the same way I felt when I first booted up Assassin's Creed 2, or how I felt when I first played Genshin Impact. Now, I know many people have different opinions on Genshin Impact, but that was the game that got me into this gacha game industry to begin with, so I have to give credit where it's due. So that's my thing, was reflecting. And now, the next point, which is now reconnecting. So now you reflect it, you realize the things that got you into this art industry to begin with. And now you have to reconnect yourself. Now you have to do things in a way that gets you towards your goals. Now, to give you some good tips, I will always say, my number one tip is rest. You might be saying, oh my gosh, you're not drawing. Rest. You need rest. For anyone that's telling you to draw every single day, to study every single day, yes, if that works for you, cool. But I recommend, and also what I teach to my mentees, link below, by the way, sorry, links below to my mentorship program. But what I teach them is to take that rest, take that creative break, plan more, schedule more. Because once you rest, once you take that break away from the drawing program, because for me, it got to the point where I was scared to open up the clip studio. I was scared to look at other artists on ArtStation because I was filled with so much pressure, because it just wasn't fun for me anymore, because I felt horrible for even trying to draw, because I thought I wasn't a good artist, because I thought this art wasn't working, because I thought I would never make it. You know? You have to take that rest, that reset. And I mean a full one. Put down the tablet, take away your iPad, sit down and rest. Read a book. Many books. Look at art books. And I mean, not like, looking at different studies, which those are very good if you want to study, by the way. I do recommend the study type of art books, but I mean gaming art books. Because for me, when I opened up the art of, let's say, Genshin Impact, or another one that I have, Assassin's Creed Unity, I realized that I was worried for the end goal. And I was not thinking about the process to get there. AKA, in a lamer analogy, why would I care about the end of the race when I'm not even training for it? When I opened up that book, I seen process. I seen ideas. I seen many different things besides just the end pretty product, but the steps it takes to get to that product. That made me realize I can do this. You can do this. We can do this. Because when you see those processes, you understand those artists, once you get in their mind, you read that art book, you understand they're going through the same thing we are. There's no difference between me and my favorite artist. The only thing that's different right now is that I might have a little more experience. But our processes, our thoughts, it's like a interconnected spider web. Each artist has that same thought pattern. We might think about it differently. We might go about things differently, but we've had the same thought pattern. You clicking on this video proves that theory in itself. So open up that book, take a little rest, watch, your favorite YouTube channel. But you have to take that creative break, that rest, to just sit down, chill, and not think about putting that pen to the paper, but thinking about you, the person, why you liked it, why you got into it. And once I figured that out, my friend, art began to be fun again for me. It began to be fun, not only because of now I know why I'm in it, but I also know why I love it. I also know why I chose this, because no one forces you to be an artist. I've said this in past videos many times, but no one forces you to do this. No family member says, hey, I want my son to be an artist in gaming. They say the doctor, they say the lawyer, because that's guaranteed success in a sense. You chose this. And once you go back to that of why you chose this, once you take that break, once you play that game that got you into it, or watch that movie that got you into it, or read that book that got you into it, whatever medium you might be doing, you start having fun again. And my last practical tip for me is the one thing that I will always say to anybody out there is not only to have fun, but enjoy the process. Become part of the process. Have fun with your art process. Make fan art, Experiment with colors. Try a new style. That's what I had to do. I mean, I've been doing anime, gacha game, illustration art for so freaking long, to the point that when I went back to doing the photobashi concepting thing that I used to do, it was fun. I'm not locked into this. Portfolio-wise, maybe because I choose to be in this industry, but I don't have to be in that mindset 24/7. You have to take your mindset away from the portfolio, the job. Take a break. Sketch. Make a little OC. Do your fan art for your favorite game. Do art trades. Join a community. Have fun. Join our community. Be a part of our community. Because art, in the end of everything, is supposed to be fun. Is supposed to be for fun. And that right there is my answer to when art stops being fun. Now, for many different people, rediscovering your passion might be harder than most, but I can assure you, for all of us artists, may our passion not be the same, but we are all together in this journey. Whether you're a new artist, I've been there. Whether you're a experienced artist with 25 plus years, we see you. I see all of you. We're in this together. Remember why art is fun. Remember why you got into it to the first place. I see many people nowadays getting heartbroken because AI, or getting heartbroken because of game companies being dumb, or being heartbroken because they've seen maybe their favorite game company use AI. Do not be discouraged, because us as artists and as humans will always push forward. We will always be the best at what we do. It's the human condition. No matter what, we will always strive to make new creative ideas, to make new experiences, to make new visuals that nothing can ever make out there. To the person that I'm talking to right now, the future professional artist, the future book artist, the future cover artist, the future mangaka, the future of game creator, do not be discouraged in your journey. Remember why you started it, and then continue to go forward. Yeah. Now, thank you Thank you everyone for listening to this. This is week 1. I'm back. Yeah, and if this is your first time seeing me, then hello. I am Toka. It's been a long time since I posted any videos on this channel. Um, as many of you might know from maybe looking at my Instagram and the links below, or my ex. I live in Japan now. I'm no longer in the States. And I'm also married too. And I recently turned 22. So a lot of lifing has been happening in my absence. And I wanted to create this video because that's how I've been feeling, honestly. There's been so much things going on, from living in a new country to also still continuously pursuing my passions. I'm still striving, even if I am getting the contracts or the artwork or whatever that I might be having. I'm still trying to reach that next step. That's just kind of the artist's condition. We always try to get better with every single step. So yeah. And like I said again, if you want to be a part of my mentorship program and join the guild, then I'll be more than happy to have you. There are always limited slots, so links below to check that out. In the link, you will also find my email. If you have any questions about the mentorship program, or becoming, or what it offers, or what I can do, if I'm flexible with styles, anything like that, just ask me. I'm more than happy to answer your questions regarding that. And also, if you have a personal question, you want to ask me something, you want to reach out to me, you want to ask me about studios or work ideas or work opportunities, hey, I'm more than happy to talk that with you for as much and as long as possible. I love talking with each and every one of you, and I miss making videos. So I am happy to be back. And also, to everyone that's sticking around so far, I want to put this at the end of the video, but alongside with these art talks, we're going to be starting a new segment now that I'm fully able to, which is going to be called the art of, and then whatever game. Our first video will be dropping maybe in the 2 weeks from now, which is the art of Genshin Impact, which we will be visiting that game and talking about why not only the game works with the story and kind of breaking it down, and sort of a review, but not really. Think about it as an artistic review of a game, where we break down things, why things work, why some things don't work, how you should go about if you want to work for said company. And we're going to be dropping different games. If you have any game ideas below, or game studios or things like that, trust me, I'm more than happy to see your suggestion. But our first one will be Genshin Impact, so I really hope you see it, especially if you're interested in that studio and in their art and how it works, since I have many connections with that studio, and I would love to not only give you insider information but also help you. So yeah, thank you so much everyone. It has been an amazing time, and I hope that you all have a great day. See you. Toka is out.